So we're going to be going over grouping, and this is going to be the third method that we're going to be dealing with. We're going to only focus on factoring by grouping and then solving only whenever you have a coefficient in the front. It's the only time that this is very useful. We have seen this problem before, but now we're going to get a visual on why it works. So we're going to be looking for two numbers that when they multiply are going to give us 14 or negative 14 from the 2 and the 7, and then when you add them is going to give you negative 5. So similar to the traditional factoring, so we're going to put negative 14 on top, and we're going to put negative 5 at the bottom. So the two numbers that when we multiply them gives us negative 14, and when we add them gives us negative 5, is going to be negative 7 and 2. And we're going to write this as 2x to the second plus 2x minus 7x minus 7, and that's equal to 0. We are going to group them, and that's why we use that term. We're going to put these two together, and we're going to put these two together. We are going to look for what do they have in common. So in this case, this one has a 2x and this one has a 2x. So you're able to factor out a 2x. And when you factor out 2x, you're left with x plus 1. If you were to distribute this, you will get exactly the same thing that we have above. And then we're going to look at the second group. So we have negative 7x and negative 7. They both have a negative 7. So we can take out that negative 7. We can factor it out. And we're left with x plus 1 is equal to 0. Now, in this case, you can see that we have two different terms. You have the 2x times x plus 1, and then you have the negative 7 times x plus 1. So they both have an x plus 1. And similar to what we did in the previous part, that we saw something in common and we're able to take it out, we're going to do exactly the same thing. We're going to take out the x plus 1. We put that outside. So we're going to take it out from both sections. And we're only going to be left with 2x minus 7. And that's going to be equal to 0. And from this point on, we just go back to our traditional way of solving things. X plus 1 is equal to 0. So minus 1, x is equal to negative 1. And we have 2x minus 7 is equal to 0. So plus 7, 2x is equal to 7. And now we just divide by 2. So x is equal to 7 over 2. So the two answers for this problem are going to be x is equal to negative 1 and 7 over 2. Let's look at the same problem, but we're going to do something slightly different. So in this case, we know that the two numbers that we get, again, we have the negative 14 and negative 5, and we are going to say positive 2 and negative 7. Now we're going to change the order. So we're going to put 2x to the second minus 7x plus 2x minus 7 is equal to 0. And one more time, we're going to group. So we're going to group the set of the first two numbers, and we're going to group the second numbers. If we look at the first set, we have 2x to the second minus 7x. The 2 and the 7 have nothing in common, but they do have an x in common. So you're able to factor out an x, and you leave 2x minus 7 inside. And from the second one, we have 2x minus 7. The 2 and the 7 don't have any other greater common factor other than 1. So 2 times 1 gives me 2. 1 times negative 7 gives me negative 7. So the only thing they have in common is a 1. So we're going to put that 1 that they have in common, and then we leave the rest. 2x minus 7. In this problem, we have 2x minus 7 and 2x minus 7. That's what they have in common. So you can take out the 2x minus 7, and you're left with x plus 1. And now you just make it equal to 0. So we have 2x minus 7 is equal to 0. Plus 7 plus 7. We have 2x is equal to 7. Divided by 2. Divided by 2. X is equal to 7 over 2. Or 3.5. And we have x plus 1 is equal to 0. Minus 1 minus 1. X is equal to negative 1. Use the notes from the previous example to try to solve this problem. For this problem, you need to multiply 3 times 8, and that's going to give you 24. And then you're going to put negative 14 at the bottom. So this is going to be negative 12 and negative 2. Again, the order doesn't matter. So we're going to say 3x to the second minus 12x minus 2x plus 8. And so we grab this number, and you're going to put it in between. And then you're going to grab the second number that we got, and we're going to put it as our third term. Negative 14x is the same thing as negative 12x minus 2x. Now we're going to start grouping. So I'm going to group the first two terms and the last two terms. The 3 and the negative 12 have the greatest common factor of 3. So that means that we're going to take out a 3, and they both have an x. So you're going to take out an x. You're going to be left with x, and then negative 12 divided by 3 is going to give you negative 4. For the next portion, you need to factor out the greatest common factor between 2 and 8. That number is going to be 2. Now, you have to be careful with your signs in this case, because the first thing that you need to remember is you need to make sure that this portion right here looks exactly like the section that you're going to put in the other parentheses. If you take out a 2, you end up with negative x and positive 4. And that's not what we're looking for. We're looking for a positive x and a negative 4. So what we're going to do is we're going to take out a negative 2. When you divide negative 2x by negative 2, you're left with x. When you divide 8 by negative 2, you get negative 4. And that's the number that we're trying to get. Now that we have that, we can write x minus 4. And then we're going to put 3x that just came from the front minus 2. So our answer is going to be x minus 4 is equal to 0, plus 4 plus 4, x is equal to 4. And we're going to get the second one. We have 3x minus 2 is equal to 0, plus 2 plus 2. We have 3x is equal to 2, divide by 3. X is equal to 2 over 3. So the two answers that we get for this problem is x is equal to 4 and 2 over 3. Be careful, some people see this fraction and they want to flip it. Just leave it like it is. Try this problem.